Sanatan Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I don't know who I am. I don't know what is the purpose of life. Please educate me about this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied that the purpose of life is given in the Vedas. But then to illustrate how people can get misled by the Vedas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an allegorical story, a parable. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu narrated the story of Sarvajna. Sarvajna was a great astrologer, and once one man invited Sarvajna to his house. Sarvajna, when he went to his house, he saw that the man was living in a very poor condition. And normally when people are in difficult situation, they approach some astrologer and ask, what is the solution? Why I am suffering like this? Is there some parihara? This man also, because he was in poor condition, he called Sarvajna and asked him, I am really suffering, really I am struggling, no proper maintenance also is very difficult. Is there some parihara I can do by which my economic situation can improve? Sarvajna studied his astrological charts and all that. Then he said, you are not supposed to be a poor man. Why are you suffering like this? Your father was a very wealthy man, and your father has left behind a great treasure. But because he died in a foreign country, he could not tell you the location of that treasure. And that treasure is within your compound itself. It is not anywhere else. It is within your compound only. So, by digging in your compound, you will be able to get that treasure. But then Sarvajna told this poor villager, but don't dig in the southern side of your property. If you dig in the southern side of the property, it will release lot of wasps and bees. They will come and bite you, and you will get only suffering. If you dig on the western side, there is one yaksha there. That Rakshasa will give you lot of mental trouble and you will go mad. And don't dig on the northern side, because on the northern side there is a big black snake, a very poisonous snake. It will swallow you. It's a python. It will swallow you and it will finish you. Dig on the eastern side. On the eastern side, little bit if you dig, the treasure will come out. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this example, and then he told, when the astrologer told this poor man that his father left behind a great treasure for him, by that what happened? The relationship between that poor man and his treasure got established. He was unaware, he did not know. When that knowledge was given, immediately that relationship got established. Similarly, we are ignorant in this material world about our true position. The Vedas, by studying the Vedas and gaining the knowledge in the Vedas, we understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord. Sambandha. Sambandha is established. First thing that is done is Sambandha is established with the Supreme Lord. Now, just by establishing our relationship, knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and I am his eternal servant alone is not enough. Sambandha, knowing the Sambandha alone is not enough. Just like knowing that my father left behind a treasure alone is not enough. I also need to know where that treasure is, where I can go and dig. Similarly, the Vedas give the processes, the activities by which we can re-establish our relationship with Krishna. That is called Abhideya. Now, to establish the Abhideya, we have to be very, very careful. Why? Because the Vedas talk about many things. The Karma Kanda portion, the Jnana Kanda portion, all these things are there in the Vedas. The Karma Kanda portion is described to the southern side of the property where there are wasps and bees there. What happens is when one engages in the Karma Kanda activities, one will be engaging in various kinds of pious activities and one will get happiness to enjoy. But also the nature of engaging in karmic activities is such that knowingly or unknowingly will commit some sinful activity. And the result is we will have to suffer many distresses. And even though one may execute all the duties mentioned in the Karma Kanda portions of the Vedas very strictly, but what happens is the desire to enjoy materially always remains in the heart, and that desire to enjoy in the material world is what eventually impels one to engage in sinful activities. So, as long as we are following the Karma Kanda portions of the Vedas, the desire to enjoy remains, and constantly we'll keep committing sinful activities and we'll keep suffering for that. And so, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described it to be like wasps which will come and bite you. When a wasp comes and bites, what happens? We get pain, we get distress. Similarly, the engaging in the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas is like you are inviting distress of the sinful reactions. If one gets lost in the Karma Kanda portion, the only result will be the distress due to the sinful activities that we'll be doing. Then we have the Jnana Kanda portion of the Vedas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compared the Jnana Kanda portion of the Vedas to the western side of the property where there is a yaksha, where there is a ghost. Normally, if a ghost captures you, what happens? It will give you a lot of mental disturbance. Your thinking will not be proper. You will do activities which are not, which are abnormal, etc. You will not be able to live peacefully. You will have to suffer, and all your relatives will also have to suffer. Similarly, the Jnana Kanda portion of the Vedas, they engage only in so much speculation that they give only mental distress. Those who engage in Jnana Yoga, they have only distress for their result. What distress? Mental distress. Simply going on speculating. Finally, what will happen? Oh, Jagan Mithya, Brahman Satya, all that, and finally, okay, I am not part of this world. All this world is illusion. Jagan is Mithya. This, whatever I am seeing, everything is illusion. Finally, after speculating like this, what happens? Finally, they will come down to the platform of engaging in some philanthropic activity in the same material world, which is an illusion. So, the mind has taken you for a ride, full ride, and brought you back to the same position, engaging in material activities. You are not got anywhere. Simply mental disturbance, that's all. So, therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described this to be like a yaksha or like a ghost. Now, the Vedas also describe about Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. Now, Ashtanga Yoga comprises performing many asanas and performing pranayama. What is the idea of doing all these asanas and pranayama and all that? To regulate the vayu within the air, within the body, the air within the body. Why? Because according to Ayurveda, when the vayu increases, the mind starts running very fast. And if you subdue the vayu, then mind will become peaceful. The idea of performing all the asanas and pranayama and all that in Ashtanga Yoga is to mechanically reduce the vayu in the body so that mind becomes peaceful, and in a peaceful state you can meditate upon Paramatma within the heart. This is the goal of Ashtanga Yoga. But then people become carried away by the physical health benefits of Ashtanga Yoga, and they think that is the goal. Just like people think the goal of earning money is sense gratification. But the goal of earning money is not sense gratification. It is just to labho jiveta yavata, just to be able to maintain one's body and soul together peacefully in a harmonious way, so that one will be free to think of higher spiritual subject matters. Similarly, the performance of yoga is also to make oneself peaceful so that one can practice spirituality. But then, just like people mistakenly, they misuse the accumulation of wealth for sense gratification, like that they misuse the health benefits of yoga for engaging again in sense gratification. And even if a person does not get carried away by the health benefits or by the siddhis that one gets by performing Ashtanga Yoga, the ultimate goal of Ashtanga Yoga is to merge into the body of Paramatma. That is the goal of Ashtanga Yoga. So, that is the ultimate goal. What happens? The end of Ashtanga Yoga is that you will destroy your own existence. So that is like a venomous python which will swallow you up and kill you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained these three things. Therefore, we have to search in the eastern quarter where there is Bhakti Yoga. And by performing the Bhakti Yoga, what happens? Performance of Bhakti Yoga is Abhideya. And by performing Bhakti Yoga, we will get the result, Prayojana. Just like this, the Prayojana of digging in the eastern portion for this poor man is to get the treasure. Similarly, by engaging in Bhakti Yoga, we will get the treasure which is Krishna Prema, which is the actual goal of the Vedas. Therefore, one should not get misled by the other portions of the Vedas. They are all means to the final end, which is to become a devotee of Krishna or Vishnu.